Okay guys, so today what we're going to do, we're going to work on resolving these 916 errors that you're starting to see after the dispenser's been in the field for a while. To do that, some simple tools today. We're just going to need a clean cloth, some cotton wool buds, crosshead screwdriver, and our old mate Isocol again. Okay, so those sensors are in two parts, and of course they're in the most difficult places to get to. Here's the front of one of the three here, and that's the sender unit. There are three corresponding units, receivers, up on the top here. So they're tucked away. I'm showing you how we're going to get to it. We're going to turn the dispenser sideways onto you first of all, onto this plate, and remove this cover plate. This is where we're going to use our old mate, the crosshead screwdriver. Okay, so as we were saying earlier on, all we've got to do now is slacken off the four screws. There's one here, one there, and one there. And once we've done that, we can lift this cover plate off on the side and just put it down for safekeeping. Okay, so now we've got this undone, we've got these screws here, 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're going to do, take all four of those screws out, and then we're going to move to the other side. Okay, so we've taken out these four screws now. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to spin that dispenser around. And again on this side, we've got the four screws we just need to slacken off. And once those four are slackened off, we can take that plate off as well, which will give us access to four screws on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go ahead and take those ones out now. So all the screws are removed now, so we're going to lift the cover plate off the dispenser, and with everything up here, we're going to lift this plate up and wiggle him away now. Now carefully lifting it away, because you'll see it's still connected here. Here are the three receivers. So these are the receivers for the three sensors down the bottom, and this is what we're going to replace. Alright, so now what we've done, we've uncovered the senders. Now you've seen that one at the front. Here are the other two. There's one here and one here. You can see they're at the bottom of these Perspex periscopes. So this is what we're going to replace next. Okay, so here we go now. We're going to remove these two periscopes. They're held in by just that one screw down the bottom here. Let's go ahead and remove that fella. And then we're going to take out the periscopes complete with the screw, being careful not to drop the screw into the dispenser. Okay, just orientating you again then, so this is the side where the board is. We're now going to unplug the sender unit, so this tiny one here, so we squeeze this tab together and just pull that fella out. So having unplugged that sensor on the side, we're now ready to go ahead and take this entire tray out with those three sender units on. So let's drop the reject flap, wiggle this fella out, and that brings us out the sensor complete with tray. Okay, so the reason these aren't working is what's happened is you can see this amount of crap that's built up here and here. All of this is just coming off the notes over time. That too, although you can't see it quite as easily, is sat on top of these sensors, and ultimately they stop working. Fortunately for you, you've got the kit. All we're going to do now is use our screwdriver just to remove this one crosshead screw and take this whole board out and throw it away. Okay, so looking at the top here, you can see the build-up. This is all the crud that gets thrown off of the notes, which obviously ends up on the receivers as well. The way to clean the receivers, very simply, pull these covers off. Underneath there, you've got the receiving diode in here. So we're just going to give those a clean with a cloth, an alcohol soaked cloth. Make sure that that little fella's got no crud going up it as well with a quick blow through, and then replace all three on here, or alternatively replace the entire board. One plug, two screws. Okay, the sender unit. So here's the three that are sending up. Now this one we've already cleaned off. Once again, same again, alcohol white cloth. Just make sure these fellas are clean in here. If you're not replacing this, just cleaning it, that can then be bolted back to the bottom plate there. Okay, so the periscopes. These little fellas really are the source of the problem. I use the same analogy with everybody here. It's like the headlamps on your car. You know, they go opaque in the sun. These are exactly the same. You should be able to see straight down here because the light is being shone through for the receiver. Probably not the case. So what you can do, try cleaning them up first of all. Back to our old friend, the cotton wool bud and the alcohol. All we're going to do is clean out that whole chasm in there, give that a good wipe round, make sure we've got no dust remaining on both sides. Wipe off the tops and then bolt that back to the board. Okay. So in the event that you are not replacing this, or alternatively the board that we've just cleaned up as well, we're just going to bolt these guys back together. Now they only go back together one way. You can see that screw there lines up with the top end. You just sit that fella over and it clips on. I wouldn't recommend putting this back on just yet, having shown you that. Okay, so here's the pre-assembled unit. Now, I'm not recommending you putting it back this way. You're welcome if you've got lots of time and patience. And here's why. Okay, so here's that pre-assembled one. Again, not recommending this way. It can be done, but you need more patience than I've got time for. What we're going to try and do now is to slot this fella in. Now, what you can see straight away, these periscopes are going to foul on this carriage at the front. So you've got to drop it below and then try and bring it up from below as well. It can be done, but I'm not recommending it.
Yep, whenever you're ready.
So here's what I'm recommending. We just replace the one screw here on that. We leave our periscope off for the time being, screw this fella on, then we're going to take that back to the dispenser.
You're good to go.
Okay, so here's the difference. Watch how much easier this is. We're just going to slide this plate straight in. Okay, so having got that sender plate in, now what we're going to do is replace those screws we took out. Remember these fellas here, here, and here. And do that on both sides, guys. Yep. Okay, so the bottom plate is in. The 3 senders are facing up the right way. Here's our periscope. Here's our screw in there ready to go. How much easier is this? What we're going to do now, we're just going to carefully wiggle this fella down until it sits on top of those 2 sensors and drops into place. Then we're just going to get our screwdriver. There's 1 screw and 1 screw only now, guys. And we're going to screw that fella back home, look. Okay, receivers on the top plate. Just going to flick that back over. Pop that back into place. And put those screws in on that one too. Almost done now. Those senders there, we've just got this 1 plug with that little grip on top. We're just going to pop that back into place. And just make sure that's home. So here we go. We've got new or cleaned senders and new or cleaned receivers all assembled. We're going to put our cover plates on. Let's start with the one covering the board first of all. Remember, we only slacken 4 screws, so all we've got to do is put this back on those 4 and then retighten those same 4. So we're just going to slide that fella on and then tighten those 4 screws. Okay, same again on the far side, just covering this drive pulley. We've only got those 4 screws again. All we've got to do is slide this plate on those 4, and once we've got that in position, we're going to tighten those 4 too.
Yep.
Okay, all cleaned, all back together, everything retightened. Most important now, don't forget, most important, we've done this. We've got to check these fellas are working. Let's get it on, let's do some test transactions.